Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to a new edition of Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, I got my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And today's special guest, I got my big brother in the house tonight. This guy went to Mississippi Delta,
Yes,
played
sir.
for Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Green Bay Packers, Jacksonville Jaguars, you name it. Played in a lot of big playoff games, got a lot of interceptions, big interceptions. Also played in Winnipeg and won the World Cup. Got a big interception to seal the deal in that one back in 2001. We like to thank today's special guest, a former NFL defensive back, Juran. Bolden. What's going on, Juran?
Salute, family. What's going on, family? What's the word,
Yeah,
man?
so glad to have you.
Yes,
It's been
sir.
a minute,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Yeah, it's been a minute, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to see you, man. You aging well. You looking good. You're in the barbershop back there. Well, what's the name of the barbershop you at?
Hey, listen, I'm right here at Rather Unique here in Tampa, Florida. Rather Unique Barbershop with my main man, Mike Ward, right here. Hey, listen, he from Houston. Hey, no, excuse me, he from Michigan now, Lansing, Michigan. So if you got any cats from Lansing, Michigan, they probably know this cat right here. But one of the rawest cats here in Tampa, the best barber. He ain't just a barber, he's a brother to me, man. So much respect and much love for him for allowing me to be here and doing this in front of y'all right now.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, big guy. Yes, sir. So for the people that don't know you, Juran, let them know where you from and a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm born and raised right here in Tampa, Florida. Started here and graduated high school in 1993. I know that sounds like decades and years ago, but got a shot to sign with Tennessee out of high school. And after that, man, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get there. I had to do how can I say, an alternate route. I had to go to the 13th grade instead of college.
Okay, understand.
Had to go to Mississippi Delta Junior College, man, and went up there and I did what I needed to do. Said everybody looks at junior college as I guess a learning curve or whatever you want to call it at that nature. But I went up there, handled my business, and got an opportunity to go straight from junior college and get a taste of professional football out of that. So I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and great for the opportunity to even get out there in Mississippi to play ball, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Right, man. Hey, what age you start playing sports, and what sport was your first love?
My first love, and still my first love, is track. I never really thought I was gonna be an NFL ball player, to be honest, man. I took the opportunity to run track, and that was that. But baseball was my very first sport. I didn't start playing playing football, little league football, till I was like 10, 11 years old. Organized football. Of course, we all grew up playing sandlot ball and doing all that. Being the youngest of three brothers, it was an opportunity for me to get out there and whoop them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's how I started, man. Little league baseball, running track, and then got on that football and realized I had a knack at it. Okay,
cool. So who was the guy that you looked up to, the athlete you looked up to growing up playing sports?
Man, I'm grateful. The guy I looked up to is right out of my household, my grandmother's youngest son. That's my Uncle Mike, Uncle Mike Bolden. Phenomenal athlete, not taking anything from my Uncle Nat, nor my father. But my Uncle Mike was just that, to this day, still my ace, man. Love him dearly. Appreciate everything he's done for me. The good and the bad love that he gave me. But at the same time, I knew it was, I watched him. So everything he did, I wanted to, emulate it or try to get a little bit better than he did.
All right, cool. So you go into middle school and you're playing baseball and football. Which coach is in your ear telling you to quit one or the
other? The funny thing is, by the time I was in junior high school, everybody was saying football was your love. And I had a coach, her name was Miss Parker. To this day, I still love her dearly. She helped to, guide me to be an actual phenomenal athlete. She wanted me to stick with track. But football became a hunger for me. I realized I was pretty good at it. And then I got to high school and I had a coach, Coach Reed. Coach Reed wanted me to lead track along to play baseball because, again, down here in Florida, we play baseball year round. But I didn't want to play baseball because it interfered with track. So that lets you know how much I love track. Yep. Knowing that you can go first. Like our high school here in Tampa, Florida has the most first round draft picks.
Wow.
Gary Sheffield, Dwight Gooden, Carl Everett, Johnny Walker, my cousin Dexter Battle. I mean, Wade Balls didn't come to high school, but he played here in Tampa. Fred McGriff. So we got some quality name individuals down here. Oh, and my boy Kiki Jones, who played for the Dodgers as a pitcher. So we have some very strong talent down here, man. And it was just an opportunity. I just didn't want to pull away from track. I was too far in love with track, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So back to the high school. So once you reached the high school level, did you play right away? Did you see the field?
Yeah, I played right away. I was, back then we just had 10th through 12. We didn't have ninth grade. And as a sophomore, they put me as the backup quarterback and played receiver. I think that was the worst decision in their life to put me at receiver because I couldn't catch the damn thing. I was just fast. They couldn't throw me the ball. They couldn't throw me the ball. They threw me the ball, and for whatever reason, my hands was on backwards that day. So at the end of the day, man, they put me on the defensive side. I was playing cornerback and safety. Back then in high school, they really weren't throwing the ball as much in high school. So it was more coming off that edge, putting a helmet on somebody. And my junior year, I ended up being a backup running back and backup running back to commit to be the starting running back. And then I blew my knee out in a jamboree. So I missed my whole 11th grade season. And even with that, my senior year, I came back, had a great season, played strong, basically all defense, and all the letters were still coming in. So I think I was getting more letters and getting more recognition off my track. Running track, ran in 10, 2, and 100 meters, ran a 20.9 at 200 meters, long jump, anchor to 4-bar. I was that guy in track. So I think my love with track was more appealing than football, but I had a lot of football coaches, coming in saying, I want you to be on my squad. And I fell in love with University of Tennessee. My first love, of course, is the biggest school in America. Everybody knows the real University of Miami. Once they pulled that scholarship with this he a Michigan fan, by the way. Don't worry about that. We okay with that. We okay with that. They understand how to be second. We appreciate that. So all my youth fans, Reggie Rain, my big dog, Ray Lewis, my other big dog, Ed Reed, all my guys from the U, man, much love. I respect y'all. I should have been your teammate when I was in high school, but y'all flaked on me. Tell Coach Erickson I still want to fight too, man. So that's how that all that's how it all started for me, that opening day for me, man. And then signed with Tennessee. I wasn't gonna play for University of Florida nor Florida State. No disrespect to them, but wasn't a fan in either one of those schools. When you were in-state rival, you're gonna stay that for the rest of your life. I grew up in a household with my father loving University of Florida and my two brothers loving Florida State. So we had some good rivalries back then. I think I got a whooping one time for not rooting for Florida that day.
Man. So talk about the family, man. Talk about the athletes in your family. You come from a lineage of great athletes. I recognize that from the gate when I first met you.
Well, my dad being the oldest, he was a little smaller guy, but that's why I was wondering where I got my height from. And then I looked at the family tree and I realized it. But my dad was just a fast guy. But my uncle Nathaniel Bolden, he was a phenomenal athlete. He played defensive end. But he chose to play basketball in college, so he went to FAMU. And my uncle Mike, he's the youngest of the crew, which is my favorite uncle. No disrespect to all my other uncles. So when y'all see this, I love y'all dearly too. But y'all cats crazy. I don't really. But my uncle Mike, he ended up going to University of South Carolina, and he stayed there. He blew his knee out. Then he ended up going to Texas Southern. He left him with the Texas Southern, and always, like I said, he was my guy. And he would come home, for holidays, and he'll see us out there playing. He always stayed in my ear, man. Listen, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. I didn't understand what he was talking about. I thought he was talking about me playing at the time, but it was more so telling me to stay focused with the grind and what I was doing. And I saw some big things in front of me, man.
Okay. Yeah. So growing up, what team did you root it for in the NFL at the time?
You see him? You see him? You see the Bucks, baby? I'm a Buck by heart, but when the Falcons paid that first paycheck, I became a Falconeer.
Okay.
I had to do it, brother. I had to respect. I couldn't root for the Bucks when I'm playing against them. So once I got drafted, man, it was all my love was in Atlanta. And James,
Right.
you already know, man. That's how we started up, brother.
Yeah. So going back to high school, go ahead, KJ.
Going back to high school. Talk about, hey, how far y'all going to playoffs?
In my high school, we
Yeah,
went
on
by the
football.
playoffs. We didn't go to the mud.
Yeah, ain't got-
we was a talented team, but we had a bunch of knuckleheads. And ain't no disrespect to my guys that I played with. We just a bunch of talented guys who couldn't put a full season together. I think our weakest season might have been 6-4. Our best season might have been 7-3. We never got to the point where we got that extra, step over to be in a top contender in Florida football. That's respect to all the other Florida programs who got a chance to see it. But in our area, we were the team to be reckoned with.
Okay, cool. So talk about your first start. You came in, you started right away as a freshman, right?
Yeah, and in junior college when I first came in, I was.
I'm talking about high school.
High school, yeah. Well, I started as a sophomore. I started as a receiver as a sophomore. I was a running back coming into from junior college, but we was already running back heavy. So the first thing was get him on the field. His talent is too good to have him sit down waiting to play. So then they just started putting me in different pieces. Became a backup quarterback. Offensive wise, I saw limited time on offense during my sophomore year, and then a lot of time on defense. Put me all the way around in the defense from safety to strong safety to cornerback, and just was out there playing. I just had a knack for football and was enjoying it out there playing. But when you're a young guy on a team, you gotta follow suit sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you already talked about the playoffs. Who was your rivals back in high school in the 90s?
In the night, our rivals were King High School here in town and Tampa Bay Tech here in town. Tech just went to the state this year, well, last season I think it was. King, they were so trash. Yeah, King, y'all so trash. Y'all ain't never go nowhere. How about that? My brother went to King, so I got to get a little emphasis on that. So I had to let them know they was trash.
Yeah.
Even though we lost to them once, they still was trash. I would never say this school was our rivalry, even though we were the two oldest schools at the time, was Chamberlain High School, but I don't care about Chamberlain. Matter of fact, Joe Troop, if you're watching this, y'all still was sorry, even though you put up 200 yards on us that day when I didn't play.
Was he a running back?
Yeah, he was a running back. He actually went to South Carolina. He's a talented athlete as well, but he had a jerry curl back then, so I didn't really like him that much.
Hey. Yeah. So did you get to play in any high school?
All-Star games. I played in it was a Shrine game. It was the Florida North Florida South Florida high school game, the Shrine game. I got snubbed for the Florida Georgia game. I wasn't too concerned about that. I still got a chance, and then I got defensive player of the game up there. I had a nice good return. I did some good things up there, and then my stock actually grew on that as well once I had that game up there. So the opportunity for me to get on the field as a freshman, that's what I was looking for when I went to visit all these schools. And the school that I chose, which was after Miami pulled away, was Tennessee. I had a great chance to come in off the rip and start. Coach Randy Sanders, Coach Fuller was still there coaching, and those guys that they matter of fact, Coach Levitt was I want to say the defensive coordinator. So excuse me, Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith was. I'm sorry. And it was an opportunity, and the good thing about it, I stayed with Lovie Smith throughout the whole process of my NFL career, and he was more like a mentor to me throughout it all. Even when he was the opposing coach, we always kept in contact, along with Coach Dungy, being from down this way in Tampa, always running into him. So I got to give a major shouts out to those guys.
Cool. So talk about your recruiting process. I know you had a lot of offers. Was it only in one sport, or was it in multiple sports?
Well, each sport, each school I visited, they understood that I wanted to run track as well. So I wasn't gonna come to your school if I wasn't able to run track. I made that known early, and I still was, my visits were schools that's going to allow me to do that. Nebraska did everything in their power to get me to come to Nebraska, but being from Florida, snow don't work in my life.
Exactly.
Right.
That was my first time seeing snow when I was out there, and I told my grandma, "Can they come pick me up right now?" So I really wasn't a fan of that. So.
Okay. All right. So, who else was on the table at the time, and why you chose the school you went to?
Well, I had Tennessee on the table, of course. Then I had also Nebraska. I had Florida State still barking down my door. I had all y'all Georgia fans out there. I had Georgia was on the table, but it was time for me to move away from being in that SEC with teams I really ain't love. So the reason I chose Tennessee, believe it or not, because of the creamsicle colored uniforms. They look so much like Tampa Bay back in the day. So that's really the main reason I chose them, along with at the time my head coach, Coach Dick O'Brien, was actually going to go up there the very next year. And, he had a good rapport with my grandmother and my father. So it was just the perfect place for me to be at that time.
Okay, cool. All right. So I
wish the recruiting was like it is now back then.
Oh, yeah. What you think about the NIL?
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, I got some different opinions on the NIL, so I'm gonna just let it be where it is right now. So I'm gonna be.
Okay. All right. It's all good.
Yeah.
So talk about the University of Tennessee. You get there, who's the player or coach that embraced you on campus?
Well, again, when I got ready to go to Tennessee, my last ACT test score I didn't pass, or SAT test. I don't know why I didn't apply myself where I needed to. And that's first and foremost. I didn't apply myself. So any young cat watching this, man, please take time and take those things serious. I just wasn't. Education wasn't really my main concern. I had good grades. I just didn't really care about it too much. Like I tell everybody, at that time, my folks was just going to school to play football, and they don't understand how important education was at the time, or I didn't understand how important it was, and I kind of shifted away from that. So they sent me over to Mississippi Delta. To be honest, to tell you about that story at Mississippi Delta, I was out hanging out with my boys, and my grandmother sent me a text, not a text, a pager beat, said call her. I was like, man, can you remember the days we had pagers, bro? Pagers. Scotty, I had a pager. And Grandma said, come home. So I pull up to the house and I see this church band. I'm like, man, Grandma finna have a prayer meeting. She called me home for a prayer meeting. But it was Mississippi Delta Community College, and they was signing me. They was picking me up to send me back to school because Tennessee sent Mississippi Delta down to pick me up and take me up there with them.
Okay.
And that's how I started. I walked in as a freshman, made All-American my freshman year, defensive player for our team, defensive player of the year. Was up for freshman defensive player of the year that year. Also went back to we won a national championship that very first year. Then right after that, the second year, All-American again, and I was up for player of the year that year. That second year, I just kind of took off. I recall one game we played against Holmes Community College. I had a total of 5 turnovers in one game.
Dang.
Wow.
3 picks and 2 calls fumbles, 2 for touchdowns. I was just with different species back then, man. And then the opportunity for me to get out of school was good, but for whatever reason, I wasn't getting all the recognition that I thought I deserved. And to be honest, I think Mississippi Delta wanted me to stay in Mississippi, and I signed with Mississippi State, but I wasn't going to Mississippi State. I kind of figured if I wasn't getting the attention I deserved, or I thought I deserved, that I was going to be done with football after that. But then, God works the way he works, man. And then he brings Winnipeg Blue Bombers down to our school. I'm sitting up in the stands watching these guys out there playing. And my cousin, K.D. Williams, was actually trying out for the team as well. And he was telling the recruits, man, listen, the fastest guy on the team, or the fastest guy out here, is sitting up there in the stands. So my cousin came up there and said, man, come work out. I was like, all right. But then when I got down there, they would say, sir, if you actually work out with us, you forfeit your college career. I say, well, are y'all going to sign me? Are y'all going to pay me to come? Long story short, they gave me a contract. I never went to college no more. So I went and played in Canada one year and got drafted by the Falcons the very next.
Wow. So let's go ahead and go into some highlights real quick. We got a highlight hit Winnipeg. For everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We got special guest, former Atlanta Falcon and Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back, Juran Bolden. All right?
Sure.
Let's go ahead and get into this film real quick.
Take it to the house, baby. Let's go.
We'll be right back.
Nobody's sitting now in Winnipeg. McManus for Everson, picked off. It's over now. Juran Bolden. Touchdown, Winnipeg.
2-1 was looking good. Hey, I don't know what that move was with the hand and all this here. I don't know what that was. I still was looking fly though. But that game right there was that was the Eastern Finals. That was right before we went to the Grey Cup. That pick solidified the Grey Cup, and that was actually my last play in Winnipeg before I came down to play back in the United States. So I'm gonna send a shout out to Winnipeg Blue Bombers, man. I really appreciate all the love and support they've done with me because they was the first team to give me a shot, and you know that was the very last team I played for with my professional career. I just felt that since they opened that door, I told all the fans up there that I will always come back up there, and I just want to appreciate those guys. Thank those guys so much for allowing me to showcase my ability up there.
All right, no problem.
So talk about the 1996 NFL draft and playing for the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh man, you want to hear something funny, man? I'm sitting out chilling, and you know the first day go by, and I didn't hear my name called, so I thought it was over. To be honest, you got to realize. Football was football, you know. You're excited to have an opportunity, excited to see your name called.
Right.
And since I didn't hear it the first day, I was okay with it. So my father, you know, saying all my family, it was like, well, listen, sit tight. They got another day of, you know, picking up. You know, you're gonna get drafted. You're gonna get drafted. I'm like, if they don't, I'll just go back to Canada. I was okay with that. So funny thing, June Jones called because he was the head coach at the time. June Jones called me and he was like, "You ready to be a Falcon?" And I'm like, "Who the hell is June Jones?" And no disrespect to June Jones, dude, but I didn't know who June Jones was, man. You know, I was expecting Jerry Glanville to call me or something. So he called. He said, "Well, we just picked you up," and I swear I didn't have no excitement in my voice. I didn't have anything, and I was like, "All right, I'm ready to go." But when I saw that check, I got very excited.
Yeah, that
first check. So. It was an awesome feeling to finally say that, you know, you arrived and you got a chance to be on the squad, do something you always dreamed about doing when you was a kid, you know, being from Tampa, West Tampa, growing up in the projects. You wasn't expecting to do nothing more but be a dope boy, do some things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you know, God helped me sturdy. My grandmother was a phenomenal queen, held me down along with my father. And shouts out to my stepmoms and everything. So they did a great job keeping me focused. I got a shot, and I get to Atlanta, and I swear, man, it is. Atlanta was a different breed, different culture at that time. You know, all the good things was going on in Atlanta. Was nothing negative about Atlanta at that time, and man, we had a blast. I had an opportunity to be. I'll put it like this: a lot of people thought I was at school at Clark or at Morris Brown because I was on campus so doggone much, man. I just. You got to realize I was 20, turning 21. I still was a kid, you know.
Yeah,
so that's why I was supposed to hang out with and meeting guys that you watched on TV the year before, 2 years prior, and you like, I'm finally here, you know. And these guys are like icons to me. And then you realize that you actually can play with them. So coming in, I was excited. Didn't know what to do. Learning to play the corner position because again, I was playing safety in junior college. So by the time I got to the pros, they threw me at corner. I was like, what the? I didn't know what to do at corner, but I had to learn the process. So I learned how to play corner in the NFL, which was a very tough task. At the same time, I had my growing pains. You know, it took me a time to get on the field at the corner position. Excuse me. So I was just patient with it. When I got a chance to get out there, I just had to let that talent showcase itself.
Exactly. So who was the mentor that helped you out with cornerback and making that transition at the time?
Well, I would say that very first year, it really wasn't, I'm not going to say a mentor. You know, I got to give respect for Keith Armstrong, which was at that time my secondary coach. And it was kind of tough because, you know, we didn't have the best rapport, but I had a lot of respect for him. I didn't understand the actual play of the corner position until a little couple of years later when I realized I was more than just a special teamer. You know, Joe DiCamillo's, which is Dan Reeves' son-in-law, I got to take my hat off of him because he saw something in me. He kept me on the field. And I loved playing special teams at that time. I loved to hit people. You know, when I first started off, my nickname was Big Stick. I was just hitting everybody I could get a chance to. Yeah. And they was like, you need to go play safety. And then they was just focused. They said, no, we're going to let him play corner. So at that time, the corner was Anthony Phillips, DJ Walker, and JJ. What was JJ last name? He wore 40. I can't even think of his name, but those are guys that was in there was trying to mentor me. But The person who really put their hands and grabbed around me was Cornelius Biscuit. And he told me what it was. He showed me what it was to be a professional. So my big bro, man, I love you to death, man. Thank you for showing me. But also, you almost got me cut, man, because you came in and woke me up in the middle of the night and took me out of. We was on curfew. He came and woke me up, got me out of bed, made me drive, and we went down to. I don't know if we went down to Gentleman's Club, and I had to pay for everything. So that was the rookie. And I ain't appreciate that because I got fined the next day, even though they ain't really do nothing. So I guess he was telling me I had made it by then. So I was okay with that. We was in training camp. So Biscuit.
Okay.
I hope your missus ain't listening because I think you would have got us in trouble, man. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. So we got some highlights. You guys playing against the Saints, big rivals back then. Aaron Brooks,
I'm a Saint killer.
Deuce McAllister, Joe Horn,
yes,
and Dante Stallworth. All those guys on the team together.
Before you go to Joe Horn went the same track, went the same way I did, from junior college to the pros as well. So Joe Horn and I are really good friends. So shouts out to Joe Horn, a phenomenal athlete. A lot of this, but he backs it up. So I got respect for Joe, but he still ain't on his problems.
All right. Cool. We're going to go ahead and get into it real quick. All right.
Got you.
We don't own the rights to the music or this segment in this video. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Deezer, Instagram, and Facebook. All right. Let's go ahead and get into that video.
Well, you want a thriller? How about the Saints and Falcons? 3 weeks ago, they played one of the best games of the year. Atlanta winning, and at the end, 37-35, Battle of Cousins. Mike Vick, Aaron Brooks. So that game at 72 points. What will we have here? Naturally, a defensive struggle. Until Vick. Look at this. How does he make this throw this far off the run to Trevor Gaylor? 74 yards, Atlanta touchdown.
I call it the Vick flick. He's not really winding up to throw that ball. It's a little flip of the wrist, but he gets the ball 50 yards down the field.
And look at this play. Tommy is, you know what we're learning about Mike Vick? He's pretty darn smart.
Smart, correct. That's correct.
The flick of the Vic, that sounds like Edie Adams should be in one of the you walked in the joint. Never mind. Vic, when have we not seen him make the corner?
And not down in the red zone. He always turns this corner, and here, presence of mind to wrap the ball around the pylon, make sure he gets it in. Made it a pretty easy call for the official.
So Atlanta up 14-0. The Saints, the high-powered Saints, here we are in the fourth quarter. They have only a field goal until Aaron Brooks to Boo Williams. Ooh, it's 17 yards. And then Brooks, what's going to happen here is going to end up hitting Joe Horn.
Well, you got 10 guys within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, one safety back, the quick slant. Horn beats the corner. The safety comes up, takes a bad angle, and he is off to the races.
So all of a sudden, it's 17-10. And the Saints, next possession, they get the ball back. They get some time, plenty of time. But this time, the Atlanta defense, Wade Phillips coaching under Dan Reeves. Look at Juran Bolden make the play. They had New Orleans bottled up all day. Ensuing drive. Vick, bobbing, weaving. Amazing.
And
first down.
That's 3rd and 7. That's 3rd and 7. You have to have that first down.
And then touch to Algie Crumpler in the corner of the end zone. And the Falcons open up a 2-touchdown lead again, 24-10. Dan Brooks says, I got a rookie who can run and buy me some time. He slings it to Dante Stallworth. Brooks for 279 yards. Remember, they're fighting uphill, down by 7. And it's Crumpler who crumpled the New Orleans comeback hope. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Saints 24-17, and the Falcons' last loss is October 6th to Tampa Bay. They are 5-0-1 in their last 6. Jaws with Mike Vick on the big play of the game.
You actually had the composure to leave the pocket, see him, and wave him to go across the field. That's incredible.
Yeah, I was just taking my time being patient. In college, I did it time and time and again. And, we were able to make big plays off of it. And I knew one day, one of these days, one of these Sundays, it was going to come around and he was going to make a big play. And we was able to do it today. Fortunately, we were able to get that second win against New Orleans. And, it's just a great day.
All right, why don't you send it back to Boomer?
Back to you, Boomer. It's a wrap.
Trevor. Hey man, y'all bring it. I didn't know y'all was gonna put Joe up there taking me on that slant route, taking me to the house, but I appreciate y'all. I got you.
You got a pick.
And listen, and that should have been a pick, man. I misplayed that, man. It ain't like he but he struck out, man. It was 4th down, man. So props. And then the deep pass, Trevor Gaylor was my road dog, man. Hey, by the way, one of my best friends on the team, Ed Jasper, just passed away. So rest in peace, Ed Jasper. Much love to you, man. Number 95. He was on that squad right there with me, man. Yeah. Much love, man. I saw a picture up there, too, my boy Keon Carpenter. So much love to my boys. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, rest in paradise, my fellas. Much love, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, one of my questions was, I was going to ask you, who was the best wide receiver you faced in the NFL?
Oh, Mr. Rice.
Mr. Rice.
Mr. Rice. Can't call him nothing but Mr. Rice. Woo. That's it. Jerry Rice, man.
Jerry Rice.
Oh yes, man. Listen, I think it was my rookie year or my second year, and I'm just getting out at the corner position. And when I tell you, that's the only cat ever in the NFL, ever. Anybody want to do your homework ever? Me up for 2 touchdowns in one game. And there wasn't no burn. It was me trying to make a play, and he just made a bigger play than me. So Jerry Rice actually pulled me to the side and said, "Big man, you're gonna be okay." I think the intimidation factor was that I'm seeing Jerry Rice. I couldn't believe Jerry Rice.
Yeah, man. Up close.
I mean, you got to realize this is best receiver of all time. And that's no disrespect to guys like Randy Moss, you know what I'm saying? T.O., respect to you, you know what I'm saying? Chris Carter, all those guys that came in that era, you know, there's many more names out there, but how can you not say Jerry Rice, you know?
Yeah. T.O. still playing arena football, 48 years old.
Well, yeah, but see, hey, I'm gonna do this real quick. Shouts out to my oldest son, Isaiah Bolden. He's over at Jackson State with Dion. If you go on YouTube, nice. You'll see Isaiah giving T.O. the business. T.O., don't try to run from it. Isaiah was giving you that business, man.
That's number 12, KJ.
No, that's 29.
29?
23,
okay.
Excuse me, 23. I'm tripping. That's his old number, 29. He's 23. He's there, he 6'3" and a half, looking like his daddy out there, so.
What number you wear? You wear number 23 at Jackson State?
Jackson State 23. Keep doing your thing, son.
Okay.
He'll be out this year, so I told him he'd hurry up and get in the league because I want all my child support back.
That's right, man.
I'm kidding, son. Dad, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Baby mom, I'm sorry. I'm just tripping.
Hey, JB. So, hey, JB. So, I was gonna say, you said Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, you know, you name them. It's a bunch of
that era of receivers was something to be reckoned with, man. Even with guys when they were getting the later part of their careers, you know, Tim Brown, had to see Tim Brown, so respect to Tim Brown. You know, one of the most underrated receivers that I ever had to play against and play with, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy. Bro, I hope you see this, man. You're going to get that jacket, man. You're going to get that jacket. You deserve it, big dog.
Yeah, I feel you. Jimmy Smith, former Raven, right?
No, for Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, sir, 82.
Him and Keenan McCardle.
Yeah, Keenan McCardle. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, talk about
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Talk about being teammates with Vic. What was the atmosphere and the hype was like being in Atlanta, playing with Vic? You got the Vic experience. They changed the logo for the Falcons. You was in a part of that transition. Talk about the culture and the shift when Vic came.
So being that I used to be there when you know, we went to the 98 Super Bowl, you know, I was part of that team, but I ended up leaving in 98. I remember in 96 that we would have more fans from the opposing team in the stadium. And that was always our knock, you know what I'm saying? Other teams would help sell out our stadiums because they have so many fans. We never really had home field advantage. Being able to be there when Vic came through, and I seen the dynamic. First of all, Arthur Blank, by far the best. No disrespect to any other owner that I ever played for, but Arthur Blank, it was by far the best owner that I ever played for. He is what you consider a different breed, man. Different breed. He came in and said, "Listen, I'm gonna win here. If you don't want to be part of this, you can leave now." And I mean, he came in and let his presence be felt. And shouts out to Coach Dan Reeves, you know, saying rest in peace as well. Dan Reeves, a great guy. So I applaud them every time I got a chance to get on the field. It was because they saw something in me. So far as being with Vic, when I say a culture change, I mean, he changed the culture of Atlanta just on one play, man. And I see that we saw the potential the year before. And here it is. He comes in his first year actually being the full starter. And the buzz was unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's nothing like being in that experience to hear that man. Emmett Thomas, that was our secondary coach at the time. Our rule was hurry up and get your tail to the sideline so we can break down what we need to, so he can hurry up and get over there and see what Vic's doing. That's how exciting Vic was. We were so excited to hurry up and get whatever we need to break down from the series before to get up there to the sideline and see him do his work. So I'm really biased when cats say Vic wasn't this, he wasn't that. He was a solid friend. Our birthdays right around each other time. I brought him down here to Tampa when we played down here. He was walking through my hood with me, man. He's a great dude. So all the negative stuff that surrounded him, I'm biased to it, but at the same time, phenomenal guy. And without him, we wouldn't be in the history books right now. And that's when we beat Green Bay up in Green Bay, the first team ever to do it. And then the next week, we got our tail kicked because it was too cold in Philly.
Philly, yeah. So you talk about the motivational guy, Emmitt Smith, right?
Yes, yes.
That's on Instagram.
Yes, yeah. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Thomas.
Emmitt Thomas.
Emmitt Thomas he played back in the days for the Kansas City Chiefs. He also was a corner. He was a big corner. He was a Hall of Famer and all that. So he saw something in me when unfortunately Ray got suspended that year for something I can't recall what it was. So he was suspended for 4 games. Ray Buchanan, yes. And then he threw me in. Said you got to come. So I'm ready to play. But this man saw something in me. He grabbed me, and I used to go to practice 6 o'clock in the morning and break down film and study that. I wish I would have kept that same tenacity during the remainder part of my career. But, when you get a little big head because you played well, you're doing good, you kind of shuffle back to your old ways. But I really appreciate Emmitt Thomas for taking the time out to get me developed to play those games. And in those 4 games, no disrespect to my boy Ray, I love him a lot, man. That I played well enough to be the starter, but the way the game goes, you don't lose your job because of injury or being suspended. So Ray deserved his spot. I ended up doing enough to come back in, and Ray understood what the process was. We were better with me outside, him inside. So we did that transition. We worked perfect together, and we took off. We were the hottest team the second half of the season the year before. Then the following year, it was over, man. We just was on a different breed. We felt we really was that team, but we just couldn't get past Tampa. God dang it.
Yeah. You, Keon Carpenter, Alan Rawson.
Yes.
Ray Buchanan,
Anthony Ambrose, Kevin Matthews. I mean, we had Fred Weary out there balling, man. We had some guys out there that was really putting the time in, and we just felt if we held any offense out of 17 points, Vic was gonna give us those points, and that was our motto, man. But whatever reason, those guys down here in Tampa, man, those Bucs that year, we could not do anything with the Bucs, and that was our thorn in our side. Some games we'll be right in, and it was our maturity. We was maturing to become a good team, and then we got hit with the injury bug the very next year. I blew my knee out in Philly, the last playoff game. Vic came back the very next offseason in the preseason and broke his ankle. So that year, 2003, was a very tough year for us, man. We lost some guys. We got some new guys in. But the nucleus was there. We felt if we were all healthy, that 2003 season would have been that year for us.
Yeah. Let's talk about playing with the Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2004. How was that?
I was closer to home. I was close to being at home. I was excited to doing that, and met some great guys out there. For whatever reason, I'm not have nothing to say negative against Coach Jack Del Rio, Mike Smith, or Al Reynolds. I just sometimes chasing that bag ain't what you need to do. I say that a lot. I say that in out of respect. I wasn't mentally all the way prepared to be in that position. I know I was capable of being that starting corner. It just didn't work out for me in Jacksonville. And by the end of the year, I didn't have the best rapport with those guys, but some great friends on the team: Fred Taylor, Mike Peterson, Jimmy Smith. We had a couple. Brian Leftwich. In the second, Donovan Darius. Rasheed Mathers. So I had some great guys that was in the organization. And don't forget the big boys in the middle: Big Strauss and Big John Hen, Big Hen. That was a big boy. There was some big boys, man. So we had a pretty decent squad, but we had a lot of unbalanced pieces that year to actually go further than what we should have. I'm gonna put it on me. My lack of performance might have been an issue as well. So I'm man enough to accept my role in that. And at the end of that year, they wanted to come back in, renegotiate the contract. I wasn't feeling being in Jacksonville, to be honest. And I knew I was, heading toward the end of my latter part of my career. And I always promised my family that if I had a chance to come home to Tampa and play, I was out the door. And then being at Tampa had a void for me. It was easy. It was easy for me to make that move.
Right. So you talk about the history of Atlanta football and the defensive backs. We got a tribute that we want to go ahead and release real quick. It's the top defensive backs of all time that played with the Falcons, and we're gonna go ahead and roll that clip and see who's on.
Wait! Before you do that, what number do they got me at?
Yeah, man, I can't tell you, man. I know the answer, but
I gotta see this. So they say the top 20 DBs.
Man. Nah, not top 20, top all time.
Yeah, all time.
Okay, I better be in one of them top numbers. I'm playing. It's some great. I mean, of course, they better have Dion number one. We know that.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
We'll come back and talk about that after the film. Why you want number 21? All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Charles Dimry. Charles Dimry. Frank Reed. Frank Reed. Lee Calland. Lee Calland. Lenny McGill. Lenny McGill. Ty Hill. Ty Hill. Darnell Walker. Darnell Walker. Wendell Casson. Wendell Casson. Vinnie Clark. Vinnie Clark. Todd McBride. Todd McBride. Jason Webster. Jason Webster. Johnson. Johnson. Ruddy Redmond. Ruddy Redmond. Tom Hayes. Tom Hayes. Ron Smith. Ron Smith. James Britt. James Britt. Rick Byers. Rick Byers. Ashley Ambrose. Ashley Ambrose. Dominique Foxworth. Dominique Foxworth. Ken Reeves. Ken Reeves. Juran Bolden. Juran Bolden. Kevin Mathies. Kevin Mathies. Chris Owens. Chris Owens. Liddy Ray Wilson. Tim McKyer. Tim McKyer, Chris Houston, Chris Houston, Scott Case, Scott Case, Roland Lawrence, Roland Lawrence, Bobby Butler, Bobby Butler, Gunter Robinson, Gunter Robinson, Robert O'Ford, Robert O'Ford, Brian Poole, Ray Buchanan, Ray Buchanan, Brent Grimes, Brent Grimes, DeAngelo Hall, DeAngelo Hall, Asant Samuel, Asant Samuel, Disman Trufant, Disman Trufant, Deion Sanders, Deion Sanders.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.
So yes, sir. You saw the list. What you think about it?
Yeah.
True.
Is that all?
No,
Is that
listen.
all?
I would say this. I would politely take a step back and go up, and I would put Ashley Ambrose in front of me. But I will. Kevin Mathis, K-Matt. He's actually my son's secondary coach at Jackson State. K-Matt, you better switch us around with K-Matt. K-Matt, you should be in front of me, man. But no, listen. I saw some great names on there. I saw some great names, and few of them, I can argue. I mean, who don't want to be closer to the front? So I respect that list. I respect the list. I got a chance to see a lot of guys I played with during that time period: Lenny McGill, Todd McBride, Kevin Mathis, of course, Ray and Ashley Ambrose. I'm appreciative of the list. At least I ain't the highest number. I'm in the middle, so I take that.
I feel you. Yeah.
But, hey, and that's another thing. My partner Mike just said there's a lot of 21s out there, so I think I wore it best. Second best.
Okay, I feel you. So, talk about that. What you wore 21 in Winnipeg, and you wore it again in the NFL with the Falcons. Talk about it, and Tampa Bay. Talk about that. What did 21 means to you, man?
So my favorite number, everyone knows, is number 3. And we couldn't wear single numbers back then. But again, coming from Florida, and the rawest athlete to ever touch the field for us, in my eyes, was Deion.
That's right.
It's a lot of shoes. It's some big shoes to fill. When you put that number on, a lot of expectations from you. And we want all the smoke. We figured that, if you wear that number, you gotta show up. Never once said I was Deion, but I just was a little more aggressive size of Deion. I wasn't the best playmaker or nothing like that, but he's the reason half these kids rock the way they rock right now. He was the reason I played the position and wanted to stay at the position. So salutes to the best, the greatest of all time, the GOAT at the position, might be the best athlete to ever play the game in my book. Shouts out to Deion Sanders. Thank you for tuning my son the way you are. Respect to your big dog and much love to you. And thank you for giving me a goal to reach, even though I don't think I reached it. I ain't reaching.
Hey, we all try, man.
I mean,
I want to do a quick shout out. My home girl, my baby girl, much love to you. Raquel Battle used to be a sports radio host. Love her dearly. Thank you. She tuning in, watching to send me something. So shouts out to you. Love you, sweetie.
That's right.
I'm gonna catch you on when I get back.
Shouts out to you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, man. I know we about to head out. I just want to know, do you have a message for the youth, man, that might want to follow your footsteps one day?
Well, my message being that I have a son that's playing the exact same position is, every down, you look at it as your last down. I think a lot of these kids today, they look at it as this thing should be given to them. They forget about the work ethic. They forget about the hunger for the game. They forget about the roots that was planted prior to them even getting a chance to play. So my advice to them is stay hungry. No one's bigger than the game. Not even the greats are bigger than the game. But one thing about it, you represent the team that you wear on the front, but in the back you have that name. So every time you run up and down the field, when you on the field or off the field, you represent that person behind you, that last name. Don't be afraid to make the mistakes. And if you do make those mistakes, make them full speed. I'd rather be, laughed at by few and judged by many than being not talked about at all. So if you play this position, if you get hit up in the game, that means you playing. Because my job is not to give up as many touchdowns. You feel me? Don't give up as many touchdowns. You're going to get hit up. Pick your head up and go make some more plays. So stay hungry, stay grinding, put God first, man, and everything else will fall into play. Because there's plenty of football out there for everybody. Everybody may not make it. But your job, I don't care what round you get drafted. I don't care what round you should have thought you should have been in. Get on the field. When you get on the field, stay. That's how you become successful. Stay on that field, bro.
That's right.
We got the NFL draft coming up real soon. So what is your take on that real quick? Is a lot of top DBs that's coming out this year.
I love the kid out of LSU. I love the kid out of LSU.
Okay.
I think he is anyone in that position who needs a cornerback right now, he should be taken as soon as in the top. I believe in the top 5 picks. Easy. I love the kid out of Mississippi State, the tackle, 67. I can't recall his name, but he's going to be I've been keeping my face into the draft a little bit. So, I'm getting prepared for the following year because my boy going to be in there. So if y'all need a cornerback, and if y'all don't pick my son, y'all know I'm crazy. I'm going to come look for every team who ain't drafted. But no, it's just stand locked in with these guys. So it's a lot of kids out there. And I'm hoping, and to be honest, Atlanta picks up Ritter. I think he will pick up Ritter. I think that'll be a good position for him. Or the young man from down in what's where you at? Where was the kid we talking about it from Atlanta? Where you playing at? Liberty.
Oh, he's quarterback.
The quarterback. He's from Atlanta. I'd love to see him just get there and just start, getting in the swing of things, because it's not like having that hometown favorite. But he got to be able to wear that city on his shoulders, because Atlanta's a big city, a strong city. But I think the draft's going to be a decent draft. It's not a big draft for quarterbacks, and I think it's a draft for the kids to get in and get learned and get established. Because these new receivers coming in, they got to look at Big Chase. Chase done did his thing last year, so it's going to be another receiver that's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Any shout outs?
Yeah, like I said, another beautiful shout out to my baby girl, Raquel Battle. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, much love on that. My son, Isaiah Bolden. My other son, Jaden. My daughter, Adele. Rather Unique Barbershop. My family right here. When y'all come to Tampa, come find the best barber in the city. He keep me kind of, keep me right. And to all my boys that I got a chance to play ball with, and the ones that I play ball against that I got a rapport with, I love you cats, man. I know we don't stay in contact like we used to, because this NFL brotherhood is something serious. We're losing a lot of us, man. We're losing a lot of us. So if you get a chance to pick that phone up and reach out to one of your boys, man, just say what's up, man, because it's something special to have a bond, because that NFL lifestyle is more than just a brotherhood. So you guys be out there, be careful, man. Much love. Shouts out to my boy Trevor Gaylor.
Yeah.
Jamie Wimble, all my boys on the bus heads with Bam Morris. Yeah, that's my big brother. So y'all, just keep everybody lifted up in prayers, man. And much love. And I appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity to just give you a little time on my day, man.
That's right, man.
Any take on mental wellness or anything, or CTE from the NFL? Would you like to say anything on behalf of that? And be honest. You can say what you want, what you need.
Oh, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know he is. Go ahead,
Listen,
man.
I can't be more serious than this. I mean, what we're dealing with is what we're dealing with. We put our time into this league. It's time for the league to step up and stand tall in what they do, what they need to do. This race normacy thing is real serious. We deserve everything that's supposed to be given to us. A lot of us, it's some guys who've taken advantage of certain situations. I understand that. But those who are in need because of what they're going through. It's a lot of us out here who can't even really, we call it punch drunk. It's a bad thing to say you punch drunk. But at the same time, you know, saying, be mindful of what it is that we're laying on the line for you guys, these owners and all these people that got this shield on. We laying our bodies, our mind, everything that we got. So we need you guys to step up and do what you're supposed to. We respect and love everything that you allowed us to create financially, spiritually, emotionally, the whole thing. We appreciate you for that. But it's time for you guys to step up to the plate and watch our backs too.
That's right.
I mean that.
I appreciate that, big bro, man. It's good to see you again, man.
Always, family.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we're gonna work on KJ, man. You must be a noob over there or something, man. You know what I'm saying? I see them colors on you, man. You know how to shimmy or something over there, brother?
What's that again?
Yes, give you a capital, man.
Oh, nah, I'm representing, you know what I mean, the Atlanta Falcons, man.
Well,
And
see,
you
that's
coming
I
on,
was
you
going
great.
with that too. So, you know, so you look good in that, you know what I'm saying? You remind me of Billy White shoes right now. I just want to put, and matter of fact, I'm sorry when you said someone that I really looked up to when I was playing. I gotta give that man the utmost respect. Billy White Shoes Johnson. Billy White Shoes Johnson, if you get a chance to watch this, I love you. I appreciate you. And man, thank you for pulling me to the side and kicking me in my back when I needed to. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you
coming
man.
on.
And, hey, listen, anytime y'all want to do this again, let me know, man, and we'll rock with it. All right, brother?
Yes, sir. Let your boy know back there. He more than welcome to come back too, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, he swear. And listen, he swears he's a encyclopedia with this football thing. You know, he's an ex-athlete too. You know what I'm saying? He was a long snapper for a handicap league, but he's still straight. No, he one of them Michigan fans. He think that's the only school out there in the world right now. So we don't really mess with the Wolverines. You know, he got Charles Woodson back. Charles Woodson, you see this? Call me, bro, so I can let this cat talk to you, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
Shout out to Charles Woodson for making the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of the best
Man,
corners.
hey, if you know any more players that like to come on, man, let us know.
I definitely would do that. I'm gonna reach out to my man Trevor Gaylor because he had something at one point in time. He had Mike Vick's longest catch. That was 81 who caught it against the Saints there, man. And he's still a great fan and a great friend. Great friend of mine. And we got to get back in the mix of this, man. And I'm trying to draw all our guys back together, man, and just get us back entwined, man. I know everybody got to live their separate lives, but we got, like I said, this is bigger brotherhood than we thought it was, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on. We'd love to have you back, man. No problem, man. For everybody that's watching, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We'd like to thank my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ, and also today's special guest, Winnipeg World Cup champion, national champion of JUCO. This guy played with all the big teams with Tampa Bay, Atlanta Falcons, Green Bay Packers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. NFL's defensive back, Juran Bolden.
I salute you, cats, man. I salute y'all. I appreciate you again, family.
No problem.
Thank
It's
you,
not
man.
how you start, it's how you finish. That's
Yes,
our
sir.
motto. And we'll see you next time, guys. We appreciate you watching. Good luck.
Much love.
All right.